actually. Yeah.
Yes, let me try. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
happening.
That's great. So okay. So we had around 25 registrations. Let's see how many turn up. The students sometimes don't turn up or don't turn up in time.
Yeah,
So
right.
just go ahead. So as we discussed, I'll start. I have this.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll start and I'll introduce myself, and
Mm-hmm.
then I'll give you. I'll say Rabi is here from IMA. You introduce
Mm-hmm.
yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe introduce IMA here as well. That's the body.
I will introduce
Then
Simon. Yes.
after you have done, you can say over to you, Yasser, and I
Yes.
can I can discuss
Okay.
the agenda. I'll conduct the poll, and then I'll introduce the CMA qualification. But I'll take these two slides, syllabus, and then from here onward, potential positions and the numbers and where the candidates are working, companies. You can take over from here.
Mm-hmm.
I'll conduct the poll, and you can talk about the survey, right? How to get CMA credentials, right? So you can,
Can we move this slide up? The one above it.
yeah,
15. Can we move it up? Do you think it's good here or
or let's say we can move it to wait,
wait
yeah,
here?
here, yeah. So if you see introduction to the CMA qualification, this is about CMA, right?
Yeah. Do you want me to take this one? What is the CMA?
Yeah, yeah. You take this one, or I can take this one. Uh,
Yeah, because it will be me, you, so it
yeah,
will
yeah,
be
yeah.
confusing a
So
little bit.
from here onward, you can take it and you can keep on talking how to create, education requirement, experience criteria, and then from
Okay.
exam format, I'll take up, right? From this
Yes,
point
you'll take
onward,
it over, and there will be Q&A, right?
yeah, there will be Q&A towards the end. So let's. So what I'm doing, you can now switch off your mic and camera because
Mm-hmm.
I'll open the attendees so that we can see how many. I can see 3 attendees there already waiting. So I'll bring it here. I'll do this, and I'm now switching off my camera and. Wait. So Ravi, I'm switching off my camera and mic for a while,
Yes,
and
okay.
bringing the attendees in. Okay.
Okay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Yasser Ali, and welcome to this CMA webinar. Please confirm that you can see me and you can hear me, and we will then continue our session today. I hope you're all doing great. So let me start by introducing myself. I am Associate Head of Professional Qualifications at Kaplan Professional Middle East, and you can see all the designation with my name. And of course, most important is the CMA designation. I have more than 15 years of teaching, training, and consulting experience. I define myself as accountant. I have worked in internal auditing, risk management in the banking sector in the past, and I have a passion for teaching and training. And for last 7 years, I am with Kaplan Professional Middle East, and I have been delivering CMA training to open program and in corporate setting, and other qualifications like CFA and ACCA as well. So I'm passionate about training. I always encourage my candidates to go for the best qualification, and even in taking qualification, they should strive to have higher score, higher marks, and do not be a mediocre student in any way, right? Because it pays off. So we are joined by Rabi Ibrahim from IMA itself, and we welcome Rabi for this session, and his contribution will be valuable. Rabi, please go ahead and introduce yourself to the delegates.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for attending this session. Thank you, Yasser, for the introduction. I'm Rabia Ibrahim. I'm the Business Development Specialist in IMA, the Institute of Management Accountant, and I have been in the banking sector for almost 5 years between Lebanon and UAE. And I have worked in relationship management with the corporates, and now in IMA with course providers and corporates as well. After leaving the banking sector, and I joined IMA, I understand what is the main job of IMA and what is IMA. IMA is the Institute of Management Accountant. It has been in the market for 100 years, 101 years actually. And the members of IMA, they are 130,000 members all around the world, and we have offices all around the world, and our Middle East office is based in Dubai. We have the main job of the association is certifying, connecting, and supporting the world best accountants and financial professionals in business. And by certifying, we mean the CMA, the Certified Management Accountants, that we will speak about it during this session. And the key responsibility of a CMA include the planning, budgeting, business reporting, decision analysis, and risk management. We will go into details because those are the skills, and this is the core of our session.
Thank you very much, Ravi, for the introduction. I'll very quickly introduce our organization, that is Kaplan. We have 80 years of experience. Kaplan is a multinational company based in United States. It's a listed company, and we have a huge presence. Beside United States, we have presence in the UK, brand name Kaplan Professional UK, and we have at a given time more than 10,000 accountancy and finance students in the UK. Then we have Kaplan Professional in Australia, in Singapore, in Canada, and we are Kaplan Professional Middle East, based out of Dubai, and we serve the GCC market, the African market, and the Indian subcontinent, right? So we have worldwide delegates, and in our training sessions centered around the globe, more than 100 education languages are used, and we have more than 10,000 plus business clients, right? I'll introduce more about Kaplan Professional Middle East, that is the Middle East arm based in Dubai, going forward. Our agenda today is about the CMA qualification, right? So we'll go in depth about the qualification, the benefits of the qualification, how do the exam work, how to attain the CMA credential, what's the learning journey, what's the step one, what's the step two, and so on, the career paths with CMA, and how Kaplan would make your journey smooth, and how we will support you in attaining the credentials. And then at the end, if you have any queries and questions, we'll definitely address that. So that's the agenda. And now, before I move forward, I would like to know you better. So can you please answer a few questions, right? So I have a poll, and right. So can you please answer these three questions? Quick questions will give us, background, whether it's finance or non-finance background. Are you a student or working professional? And if you are working, then is it accounting and finance or non-finance related field? Great. So your mix of finance and non-finance, working professional students, and once again, the working professionals are into both accounting and finance fields and other fields. That is the usual mix that we get, and especially those who do not have accounting and finance background, absolutely don't worry. And it's an open qualification. We will discuss the entry criteria, and we'll tell you that how we will support you in making this journey easier for you. Thank you very much for the poll, and I'll move forward. So I'll quickly introduce the qualification, and then Robbie will take over. So CMA Certified Managing Consultant Certification is a global qualification, is globally known, and it is an advanced professional certification. And the holder of this designation, they demonstrate skills in the critical areas which are required from the modern day business, right? So globally recognized, truly global, right? And it focuses on critical skills in the business. We have all the areas, subject areas that are covered by the qualification. Leading employers, they recognize it, they standardize, and they employ CMAs, and it's very, very flexible, and there are more than 125,000 members. So here, as a trainer, as an educationist, I would like to tell you that why do you need a professional qualification? You might have a good graduation, good bachelor's or a master's degree. So why on top you would like to have a certification or a professional qualification? Typically, the advantage of professional qualification is that if you have a graduation or a master's and you apply for a job, you will have to mention which universities, which subjects, what was your GPA, right? So there is no standardization of skill set there. But if you have a professional qualification, actually any professional qualification, your potential employers or current employers, they would know that you have been tested on a similar ground, right? The syllabus is same all over the world. The exam is similar all over the world. So you have met a criteria or you have met a standard, right? So it's instantly, your skill set is instantly recognizable. Okay, now there are many qualifications. So why CMA qualifications? As we'll discuss, a qualification, a professional qualification should be very flexible, right? It should not be that it takes 3-4 years of your life, right? Entry should be easier, and it should not be significant investment, right? Thousands and thousands of dollars. It should not take. CMA is in such a sweet spot. It checks all those boxes, right? It is two parts, as we'll discuss the structure in detail. Two parts. You can take part one first or part two first, or do both parts in the same window, right? And it does not require significant time and investment as compared to other qualification, not that expensive. And the last thing, the most important thing is that it is instantly recognized by the employer. IMA have invested significantly in the brand and employer relations, that your potential employer, you say that I'm CMA certified, and they instantly recognize that what skill set you possess, what level of examination you have gone through. So this is my view or my take on the qualification. Now, the top 5 skills in today's environment that accountants and finance professionals need. That is strategic planning, right? Uh, Always your boss says think strategic, think big, consider the environment, right? Then there is financial reporting and control, typical information, financial statements, preparation of financial statement, review of financial statements, right? There is technology and analytics, of course, is hot now, right? You have AI, you have blockchain technologies and other technologies, right? And especially AI in accounting and finance. There is business acumen and operations knowledge, and above all, leading, a leadership and professional behavior in the work. Now, if you look at the CMA syllabus, it covers all. CMA Part 1 is 15% of examination weight is external financial reporting decisions. This is where is concerned with preparation of financial statement, income statement, balance sheet, cash flows, notes, and so on. Then we have 20% weight, which is planning, budgeting, and forecasting. Very, very critical role day to day, modern day accountants are required to. Measuring performance measurement of products, business units, entities, transfer pricing, topics like that. Cost accounting and management, calculating product cost, cost of a person, process. There is internal controls and internal auditing, and finally technology and analytics, right? So you see it is focused on the critical skills required in the industry. Then in CMA Part 2 we have financial statement analysis. Part 2 is more analytical. There is corporate finance, so this is raising finance, sources of finance, cost of capital, right? Bond markets, fixed income markets. Then we have decision analysis, right? And this decision analysis have basic economics. It is make versus buy decision, further processing decision, risk management. Then we have investment decisions. So this is typical project budgeting, NPV, IRR, payback period, and finally professional ethics, which is of course always part of a professional certifications, right? So this syllabus is evaluated frequently every fourth, fifth year. This is updated based on the industry demand, and when the syllabus is updated, input is taken from all the stakeholders that what is in demand that should be part of the syllabus. So it's a very, very crisp syllabus. Now we'll request Rabi because he is, of course, working for IMA, and they have market knowledge, what roles CMA certified members are working in. So Rabi, can you please highlight here?
Thank you, Yasser, for stating the topics of the CMA. It's very important to know that those topics are core topics in other professional certifications. And we get this question usually during our presentation that as a CMA, what can I work? What position I can reach? Where will I work? So if you are a CMA, you are not only dealing with taxes and auditing and reporting, you are dealing with decision taking as well and with management. So the positions that you can handle are finance manager, financial analyst, financial risk manager. You can be a financial controller in any company. You can be a risk accountant or chief financial officer, cost manager, and relationship manager. And those people, if you are an entry level now, or if you are a fresh graduate, those people, they work in corporates. They already are CMAs. If you can move to the next slide, please, Mr. Yasser. Okay, those people, they work in corporates already. They are already managers. They are decision takers. They are recruiters. And corporates such as Ford, such as IBM, such as Disney, such as Apple. And when they want to search for candidate to enhance their team, to develop their team, they search for people who has the skills that Mr. Yasser stated before, because they already have those skills. They develop those skills through experience and through certifications, and they search for the same skills in the market. If you can move to the
Yes.
next slide, please.
Thank you very much, Ravi. I'll run this full. So I'll also like to add, based on our that organizations where we have run this program, right? So we have run this CMA program for Central Bank of UAE. We have run it with Saudi Aramco, one of the largest companies and then oil companies of the world, with SABIC. And we have candidates from the banking sector. If I look at my classroom, I typically see people, from all various sectors. Like, so let's say probably 2016, 17, we had a group from Al Futtaim group, and after passing that, or after moving on, doing part one, part two, we kept on receiving for every next batch some students from Al Futtaim group, right? So because it's a prestigious qualification, and of course your colleagues are interested to do in that qualification. So on this note, we will like to know once again that what is your motivation for doing the qualification. So I will launch another poll now, that what is your motivation. So tell us, please. Okay, thank you very much for voting. And based on this, of course, all of this is relevant. I tell you, based on our experience, that candidates that we get higher compensation, definitely. Candidates tell us that they have been working in an organization for 10 years, and someone, let's say, with a professional qualification but with lesser experience was promoted, and they were not promoted, right? So you need something to distinguish yourself. And once again, professional qualification will you will be instantly you will be able to distinguish yourself, that you've achieved something, you have top-notch skills, updated skills, right? Of course, technical competency, right? Another major reason that delegates join us is that I had done, let's say, a BCom or an MCom some 10 years ago, and I wanted to update my knowledge. It brings instant credibility and respect amongst peers, especially if you are looking for a job, or you want to get a raise or promotion in your organization or another organization, right? So CMA brings that as well. And the last one, frankly speaking, if you ask me what is the most important aspect or the benefit that you get, is the networking opportunity. Never underestimate a networking opportunity. I always tell candidates who are looking for a job that your prospective employers or bosses are in this classroom, or an IMA event, a local chapter event, maybe a dinner or a CPD seminar. All relevant person, all potential supervisors, employers would be attending that event, right? So these are the financial controllers and the CFOs and the risk managers and the finance directors, right? So for me, and you also this market, this job market, that your reference, your link, your network sometimes is more important than anything. So do not underestimate that you will become part of a global body, and it has chapters. Let's say IMA Dubai chapter, IMA Abu Dhabi chapter, or IMA Eastern Province in Saudi Arabia. They are very, very vibrant. They arrange seminars, they arrange CPD events, continuous professional development event. Let's say when VAT was introduced, I have done an event where I delivered free workshops for the IMA members through IMA Dubai chapter, right? So this is all is very, very important. And the good thing is that you're getting all this with the qualification. So salary surveys, IMA conducts a salary survey. We have given you a full link. We will forward these slides to you, and you can see that that CMA certified, they earn significantly higher as compared to the non-certified counterparts in almost all the markets, right? Just like any survey, you should see everything, all the assumptions, and it's always good to visit the link and see all the details and the respondent characteristics as well. right? So now over to Rabi. He's our expert on how to attain the CMA credentials. What are the steps? And please feel free to ask any questions. We have a dedicated Q&A session, but please free to ask a question. All right, you can type a question, and we'll be happy to answer. So Rabi, over to you for the CMA journey.
Thank you, Yasser. For the steps of being CMA, it's easy, straightforward, yet it is challenging. And the challenging part is passing the exam. You have to have, first of all, a membership. You have to be a member in IMA, and you have to enroll in the exam entrance exam program, and then you have to pass the two exam parts. You can pass part one or part two, whatever you like. You can start with any part you want to start with. And if you realize the topics of the CMA exam, first part is mainly focusing on accounting and auditing. The second part is more of finance and theory. So wherever you find yourself more comfortable, you will start with. There's no problem in starting part one or part two. The good thing about the CMA is that you can get tested almost half of the year. You have January, February, you have May, June, and you have September, October to be tested. So if God forbid you failed in January, February, you don't have to wait 1 year to sit for the second exam. You can sit in May, June. And this year, due to the current situation and because many students couldn't sit for the exams last year, we have made the May, June windows April, May, June. As for the exam, it is done in a Prometric Testing Center in UAE, or test centers, computerized test centers all around the Middle East, whether it is Middle East or any other name. The results of the exam will be sent to you within 6 weeks, and the result will be sent to you within 6 weeks. The passing rate is it's 72% to pass the exam. And what do you need after passing the exam to have the credentials as CMA? You have to have a bachelor degree, and you have to have 2 years of experience in accounting and finance. And here I want to highlight something, because in the first poll we saw that there are some students, undergraduates. If you are undergraduate, you are still in the university, and you passed both exam parts, first of all, the market, the employers will realize that this is undergraduate and he passed the exam. So this is very important. This is very noticeable in the market. Everybody will notice that, even though he or she is a university student and he passed the CMA. What we can provide in this case is that we can provide a letter from IMA that this individual has passed the two exam parts, and after completing the 2 years of experience in accounting and finance, he can get the certification and get the credentials that he can use anywhere. As for the bachelor degree, it can be in anything. It can be in art, science, management, engineer, business, whatever it is. Everything works as a bachelor degree. Can you move to the next slide,
Yeah.
please?
Yeah. So Rabi, just one question, and it's very important that you highlighted this point, that students who do not have a bachelor degree, they can also join this program. So if you see this journey, if I break it down, so number one is the first step is IMA membership. What do we mean by IMA membership? Is you create a free login on IMA website, and you pay a IMA membership fee. The fee detail will come later, and you now become IMA member. You are now part of a global network of accounting and financial professionals, right? That is step number one. Then step number two is you register for the exam, or you pay a CMA certificate entrance fee, right? So fee will come later. That is now your intention to start the CMA program. Think of it as like one-time registration fee, as Rabi said. Step number three is passing the exams in any order, right? So you have windows, Jan, Feb, any day on Jan, Feb, you can schedule your exam, or May, June, or September, October, right? So after taking exam, this is the stage. Last stage is where you have to show your graduation and demonstrate work experience. If you already have a graduation, well and good, right? Having a graduation is not the requirement to start and pass the exam. This is the point that Rabi was mentioning, that even if you are in the final year of your graduation program, you can still start CMA, pass the exams, right? But in order to claim your certificate, then you need a bachelor's degree. You need to complete your education if it is not completed, and demonstrate 2 year work experience. Now, thank you very much. So this is the education requirement, Rabi, you were mentioning. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. There is a link on our website that will show you if your university is accredited by the IMA or not. And there are other education requirement. If you don't have the bachelor degree, you have to have an ACCA certification, or you completed the program of ACCA. Also, as I said, the link, you can find it on IMA, and you can search for your university if it is accredited or not. Can you move to the next slide, please? Okay. So what is the experience criteria? Anything that you are doing, you can send experience certification and we can approve it. The experience certification has to be full-time job, has to have minimum of 20 hours per week for 2 years. The position has to be in accounting or financial management, and you have 7 years period to provide those 2 years. What are the things that you are doing in your job? It has to have with accounting and finance, as risk evaluation, cost analysis. You can be doing forecasting, you can be doing financial statement analysis, you can be doing budgeting preparation. All those are considered as experience criteria that you can provide to IMA and to have the credentials and to get the certification.
Thank you very much, Ravi. Thank you very much. So once again, our delegates, this experience is required towards the end when you claim your certificate. You might already have the experience. You might have 1 year, and remaining 1 year might be remaining. You are a student, so you just have to start out. And this experience does not have to be consecutive. You might have worked 1 year with one employer, another year with another employer, right? So this all is possibility as long as you have 2 year of work experience related to accounting, finance, audit, risk within 7 year before and after, in that time period after passing your exam, that would be acceptable. And this is the stage. Once you have passed the exam, as a training provider, we help you. We have connection, of course, with the IMA. We help you in attaining your certificate if you have met the experience requirement and the education requirement, right? So now I'll move ahead and talk about the examination format. Before moving on, I like to ask, of course, there is a Q&A session later. Do you have any question with reference to the eligibility requirement, how to start the qualification, any doubts regarding education requirement, any doubts regarding work experience? Please, you can type in the questions. Anything? Any doubts? I saw someone raised a hand, or okay, then I'll assume that everything is okay. So as we discussed, that there are two parts, part one and part two, and these are computer-based exam. Each part can be attempted once within an examination windows. The windows are Jan, Feb, May, June, and September, October. So let's say our upcoming batch is for the May, June window. So from 1st May to 30th June, you have to schedule your exam on any date, right? So each part can be attempted once in a window, right? So you cannot take the same exam again, God forbid, if you fail, you will have to wait for the next window. But you can take both parts. Some candidate takes both parts within one window. You can take morning, evening, or today, tomorrow. That is possible, but you cannot take part one again in the same window, right? And then the moment you pay your certificate entrance fee, you have 3 years to complete both parts. So if, let's say, you pay certificate entrance fee now, you will have 3 years to pass part one or part two. If you do not pass these parts, then this fee will lapse. Let's say if you pass part one, but you are not able to pass part two in this time, the part one will also lapse. So think in this way, you have 3 years to pass both parts. Otherwise, you will have to pay the fee again and start over. So this is how an exam, because it's a multiple choice questions and there is an essay type section. So there are, 3 hours multiple. So this is how the exam is. So exam is 3 hours, 100 multiple choice questions, and 1 hour of 2 essay questions, right? So this is the breakdown of exam. And the multiple choice questions have 4 options. So this is a typical multiple choice questions. You have to select an option, you can move next, you can move back, you can change your answers within that 3 hours in which you have to do 100 multiple choice questions. You can review item with one click. You can see all 100 MCQs, whether you have answered, unanswered. Let's say you are on question number 89 and you want to go back to question number 3. So you don't have to go back or previous. You can straight away go and click question number 3. You can mark a question for later review if you have any doubt about that. Then this is an essay question. You have 1 hour for 2 essay questions. Now, these are 2, I would say, essay scenarios, because each question have up to 5 to 7 parts, right? So this is how it looks like. So this is your scenario, and this is a question, and you will type in your answer here. And when you move next, the scenario that you can see on the left will remain the same, and the next requirement will appear, right? And you will type in your answer, and similarly 5 to 7 parts later the next scenario will appear, and then related questions of that scenario, right? So this is the essay question, and frankly speaking, this is the challenging part of the exam, because not only IMA test your concepts, they need to see that a modern day accountant should be able to express those concepts, demonstrate the workings, demonstrate the calculations as well. And this is what adds prestige to this qualification as well. So now there is a condition that you must answer at least 50% of MCQs correctly to see the essay section, right? So first 3 hours, 100 MCQs, you must get 50 MCQs right, and then the essay section will open. If you answer less than 50 MCQs, then you have failed your exam there and then. Now the allocation is 75% of marks are for MCQs and 25% are essay, right? Each question is has an equal weight. Essay part is what is graded offline, and that's why the result takes some time. The month in which you take the exam, after by the end of that month, it takes 6 months to take the result. Total score determines pass and fail, right? And every exam slightly varies, but it is psychometrically evaluated, so that every exam or all exams are as close as possible to each other, right? And the minimum passing score, it's a scaled score of 360 out of 500, which makes it 72% passing. And this is another source of this qualifications, prestige. 72% is quite a high mark. Let's say if we talk about ACCA, passing score is 50%, right? So it's quite high. So that is why there is a credibility for this qualification. So it's not that you just start qualification and you'll pass. You'll have to really put in an effort about that, right? So that is about the examination format. Is there any question regarding the examination format? Now, what it will take you to pass this exam, right? First of all is determination. Very, very important that you are very clear in your mind that you are going for this qualification, right? You will put quality time. You will be managing your work life, your social life, and then you'll be studying. And especially if you are, in your mid-career, taking out time, it's precious time. So you should be very, very determined that I want to do it. And you should be able to discipline yourself, right? When you start studying, you will see that it's a bit hard to keep on track and push yourself to invest more time into this. Be very, very diligent and thorough. There are no shortcut. There's absolutely no shortcut for the effort that is required. We recommend that you put 300 hours per part, right? That is including training classes or coaching classes, right? So if we take around 70 hours per part of training, so another 250 hours you will have to put in. This would be required even if you have another qualification before. Every qualification has its own examination style and format, and you need to get note of that. You should have excellent study material that gives you crystal clear concept and a lot of practice, examination practice. And of course you need prep provider, an approved prep provider, those with experience, those who can make your journey easier. So as prep provider, as a trainer, what I do, if you have an MCOM, or you have a master's, or you have another qualification, you're working in accounting and finance, you're already there, you know this concept, you prepare financial statement. So what we do, we discipline you. We put you in a group where you see that like-minded people, same scenario, it becomes a sport group working towards same goal. We'll make you work the questions in the class. As a trainer, I believe the only practice that you're going to do is what you do in front of me. So I don't give you, okay, these 100 questions are homework, go on your own. No, you'll solve 400 questions in preparation class, another 400 in the revision class. So you'll do 1,000 questions, right? Also, what a prep provider does, that you don't have a wasteful effort, right? Sometimes we based on our experience, we know that what is the level of difficulty, how this topic will be tested. And towards the end, if you give me 5 minutes, and most of you are accountants or finance, I'll very quickly demonstrate that how we tell you that a certain topic is tested and prepare you for the exam, right? So the exam is developed at a postgraduate level. You need graduation, so it's a postgraduate level, right? And it assumes fundamental knowledge in economics, statistics, and finance. Very, very fundamental knowledge. This is another thing where we pitch in, that if you do not have accounting background, or it has some time have passed since you studied accounting, we give you some free resources, even couple of classes on fundamentals of accounting as well. So it requires time and commitment, right? And 300 hours per part is including classes. And if you do not have accounting background, you will have to add more hours, right? So about the exam fees, and once again, Rabi have good news to share with us. The IMA fee, the step number one, remember step number one is becoming IMA member. That is $245. IMA membership fee. I believe there's a processing fee as well. So consider it $250. Then step fee number two that you will immediately pay is CMA Certificate Entrance Fee. Consider it like one-time registration fee. So this combined, these two fees here are $500. That is upfront. That is to be paid to IMA. And then there is exam fee of $415 per part, right? So these are the fees. As an IMA approved learning provider, so this in total, if you see, is $1330. This is the total. You don't have to pay all upfront, right? So you'll pay this 500, and once you register for exam, 415, pass one exam, 415 again, and this is the fee. So as IMA approved provider, you will have up to 35% discount on IMA fees. So if you join us as a student, as a proof provider, right, IMA offers this discount up to 35% discounts on this $1330. Apply 35% discounts around $465. I believe $465. So that would be discounted if you join our institute. Any questions, any doubts with reference to fees, right? So this is the fees without discount. And if you join us, and we'll send the list, we send our list to IMA, and they then issue a discount code, apply the discount code, and when you pay, the fee is discounted. So this is IMA discounts. These are exam fees. membership fees, registration fees. We don't get these fees. IMAs charge this fee. Now, towards the end, how we will make your journey comfortable. So first of all, Kaplan Professional Middle East, right? We are market leaders in finance training in the GCC, not only CMA, other qualification, beyond exam trainings, right? We use globally renowned study material, that is Wiley study material, right? We have a range of classroom and online, live online option. We have dedicated doubt clearing sessions because we have full-time faculty. We don't use freelance faculty. They're always there. You can schedule time, you can ask questions, right? We have full-time certified trainers, and we have extensive exam practice. There are practice tests within our class: 50% completion, one practice test; 100% completion, another practice test; a mock exam upon completion of revision, right? So this is overall our program. Now, our training, part one or part two, it is preparation, revision, and mock exam. Our preparation program, which is called Prep Pro, for part one or part two, is the same structure, is 48 hours of live instructor led classes, right? And if you want to join live online, now we are offering that as well. So it is live/live online. So same class is streamed and this class is recorded. So if you're taking a face-to-face class, even then you will get the class recordings. All class recordings will be available to you. There are personalized doubt clearing session. You can schedule time with the trainer, talk to the trainer. Every fourth, fifth class is a problem solving class. If I'm teaching, every class is problem solving class. So as I told you, we solve up to 400 multiple choice question, 10, 15 essay question in classes. When we say solve, it's not that we delegate, we solve it in the class. There are online pre-recorded video lectures, right? So there are pre-recorded videos available, and then as each lecture happens, the class that was delivered, that recording is also available. We'll give you class slides and formula sheets. Very, very important, we create WhatsApp study group with you. So in that WhatsApp group, whole class will be there, all the trainers will be there, operations manager will be there, and our dedicated student relationship officer is there. And we post, like there's a daily quiz, like 5 questions are posted every day. You can answer, right? You can, if you have any doubts while studying, you can share screenshot of the question or the problems, and trainers will reply. There are study planner session that will tell you, okay, you go back, where to study, how much to study, which topics to leave. For some topics, we give you our cheat sheet and we say, okay, don't study this from book. These 2 pages are going to solve your problem, right? And we, within this program, Wiley study material is included. All study material and mock exam, everything is included, is part of the package, right? The second program that you offer is Revision Pro, is a life savior. So it is 2 full days of instructor-led classes, once again available live online as well. This is in the revision time. We recall the concepts 50% of time, we revise the concept 50% of time, we practice question, high focus on exam tips, tricks, and techniques. You get formula sheet and mock exam, right? And the CMA Excel learning system, that is the study material. You can buy it separately as well. It is part of the program. It is a textbook, class slides, and online question banks, which have thousands of multiple choice questions that you can create topic wise tests, you can create mock exams, and you can do essay practice question. And you will get 1 year access to online question bank, 1 year access per part for online question bank, right? We take pride in our ecosystem. There is a dedicated student relationship officer. We do motivation, counseling, and career advisory as well. Every now and then from our partner companies, we receive requirements for job openings. We share it with our candidates. We receive their resumes and we forward it to those companies. There would be an LMS. Our LMS system is the one platform where you can find the course schedules, class slides, recording links. Everything is through managed through one login. Very recently, we have been able to place our candidate in few companies, in KPMG, in Mashreq Bank, in Emirates NBD, Rack Bank, right? So every now and then a requirement comes or job openings come, and we forward it to our candidate, and we help place them with these companies. Now our fees, this is the tuition fees, right? So if we talk about Prep Pro, that is the preparation only, right? That is 4199. And if we talk about prep and revision together, that is 5250, right? And I'll just talk about it, that we have, because of COVID situation, we have reduced our prices because of COVID. So live online or face to face, either way, we have reduced our price, and now our preparation, revision plus study material, everything, it's all inclusive price of 3937 per part, right? So this is the final price. If you don't take revision and just go for preparation and study material, that is 3200 per part, and that is inclusive of VAT. This is all because of COVID, the pricing is reduced, right? So what is included in Prep and Revision Pro? So if you see, study material is included, online video lectures are included, in-class practice tests are included, one-to-one doubt clearing session are included, right? Mock exams are included, and our assurance is included. And assurance means that if you have attended most of the classes, more than 80% of the classes, you took the mock exam, and God forbid you fail, you can repeat the next window, next exam free of cost, right? So that is our assurance. So this is the final P, and this is famous package, popular package with the candidates, where they go for preparation 48 hours, revision 16 hours, and the study material, mock exam, everything is included. That is 3937. The study material alone, if you separately just buy the study material, so Wiley study material is 2415 per part, or if you go for both parts, that is 3623. If you go for revision alone, that is 1365, but you must have Wiley study material for that, because that is the base that we use for covering our revisions. Our course start dates, our course is starting on 3rd of April, and it will go till 3rd of July, right? And the course will be Saturdays 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. and it would be at our venue, that is Rolex Tower, second floor, DIFC. It's very adjacent to DIFC metro station, like a minute walk from DIFC metro station, right? And same class you can take online as well. And the revision is 9th and 10th of July from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Right? So these are trainer. This is me with my profile picture. This is Bilal and Sana, and we between us we teach the CMA qualification. Any questions? Any doubts? Anything? So this is the time. If you have any doubts, anything, any queries, so this is now the time. Candidates, all good? All okay? Aziz, please go ahead. You can type in the question. Any questions? Anything? How will be you be attending the online session exactly like you are attending this session, right? So you will be sent a link. You'll be given a schedule. You'll be sent a link, right? You will open that link. The session would start, right? At the end of the session, all the class notes that I'm writing, and typically we'll be writing in a notepad. That notepad will be converted into a PDF file and will be sent to you, right? So I can just demonstrate. So, and within 24 hours, you will have an LMS access. The notes will be uploaded to that LMS, and the video link will appear 24 hours later, so you can view your videos as well. So those so you can come to attend the class face to face, or you can take it from home. There's no difference. Any other questions? Anything about the qualification, anything about the entry criteria, about the exam, about our course?
I just want to add one thing, Yasser. Since we spoke about being unemployed, I want to speak also about unemployed and searching for a job. I want to speak about also if someone is already an employee. So if you are unemployed and now let's say any organization posted a job on LinkedIn, within half an hour you will see 1,000 applications submitted. So what the CMA provides you is that it provides you distinction from the other applicants, because nowadays the bachelor degree alone is not something that is considered valuable in the market. You need a professional certification. So if you are unemployed searching for a job, CMA will give you distinction among the other. It will give you confidence while you are doing the interview. And if you are employed and you are already in a team, let's say of 7 accountants, a CMA will give you like leverage over the other accountants, and you will by that you will get a raise, you will get rewards, you will get valued by your manager. So in both ways the CMA plays a good role in your career.
Thank you very much, Ravi.
And I want to highlight one thing that I saw it myself regarding the study that we did and the increase in salary 58%. I personally saw double the salary when someone got the CMA, and it was in our region. I saw it personally, and that guy came to me and told me that because I got the CMA, I got double the salary. So it really gives rewards to people who are already employed or already in an organization.
So, Rabi, we have a question here that if someone does not have a education, let's say, do not have a graduation, and they pass both parts, how much time do they have to demonstrate or have the graduation? Is there a time lapse or something?
There is no time lapse. There is no time lapse, but it has to be also within the 7 years. He has to get the bachelor degree, and they have to have the experience.
Experience,
There
yeah.
is no time lapse. Time lapse.
Rabia, here is your answer that if you do not have experience or the graduation, you have passed both parts. So you have 7 years to have the 2 year work experience and the graduation, right? So 7 years is the time. So you are right about that.
There is a question from Savim. Savin is asking, how do you consider 2 years of experience? We require experience letter from your previous employers as an evidence that you have been working in that organization and that team, and those were your job description.
Yeah, it's based on your job description, not your designation. Let's say you are an accountant, you are a risk analyst, you're a budgeted analyst. Let's say I have a we have a sales manager, but they are also involved in planning and budgeting and what should be the price of the product, right? So although their title is sales, but their experience of planning, budgeting, product costing, product pricing will accumulate towards the qualification, right? So I understand your question. It's based on job description. Yes. Yeah, that's absolutely okay. Project accountant, your experience is counted.
Yeah,
Perfect.
exactly.
Yeah. Anyone have an issue? I mean, you can, what typically, I tell you, what typically does not count as experience is pure operations experience. Someone has pure marketing experience, there's absolutely no involvement of number or data or forecast or budgets or analysis, right? So that is typically, or if someone is an engineer, right? So that is where they need to have the relevant experience. Okay, so towards the end of it, and you can, we have five minutes, so you can keep it coming. So I told you that I'll tell you that how a typical exam question is tested, and especially those who are accountants, I would like to ask, and I just like to demonstrate that how we sport or how having training it might add value, and this qualification. Uh, what if I ask these guys, all of you, what is a current ratio, for example, accountants? Very, very common basic concept. If you have done bcom, you would know that, right? So you'll also have a flavor of how we teach and how you will learn online especially. So anyone, current ratio? Saveen, maybe you are project accountant, maybe you will go ahead, take the lead. Excellent. It's actually current assets divided by current liabilities. Excellent. Current assets, yes, Walid, thank you very much. Current assets divided by current liabilities. So what are your current assets? Typical current assets, assets which pay within 1 year, is cash and cash equivalents. It's your inventory and it's your receivables. I'll write AR for accounts receivable, right? If you do not have accounting background, absolutely don't worry, and we'll tell you. And what are your current liabilities? Typically, are liabilities or obligation that are required to be paid typically in 1 year. And this is trade payable or account payables, bank overdrafts, etc. This is other payables, they come in here. Now, one typical exam style question which they ask, and I'll put this question to you, and that's the only thing that we are doing, is this question, that current ratio of a company is 1.5 if the company buys inventory of $50,000 on credit. It does not pay cash. So how this ratio would be affected? How this ratio would be affected? Right? So I'll give you 4 options. Number 1, option A is increase. Option B is decrease. Option C is no change. And option D is cannot be calculated, that you need more data. Now, this is a typical exam style question. It's a very, very basic concept. Current ratio of a company is 1.5 right now. Okay, Savin says it will decrease. Okay, if the company buys inventory of 50,000, inventory will increase its current assets on credit, meaning current liability would also go up. How this ratio would be affected? Mariam is saying it will increase. So we have 2 different answers. Anyone else want to pitch in? Waleed, Aziz is saying increase. Okay, so Jeet is saying decrease. See, diversity. I love diversity. Anyone else? So remember, current asset will increase by 50,000. Current liability will also increase by 50,000. Inventory is current asset, but because you are buying on credit, so payable will also go up. Anyone else want to answer? Walid says increase. Okay, that's enough answer. So let's see how to answer this question. And this is a very, very typical question. So current ratio is 1.5. Let's create this current ratio. So CA, let's say your current assets are 150,000 now, and your current liability is 100,000, right? So 150 over 100, this is 1.5 right now. Current assets are 1.5 times of current liability. When you buy inventory of 50,000, current assets will become 200,000. But because you did not pay cash, your accounts payable will increase by 50,000 as well. So your new ratio is 200,000 divided by 150,000, right? Now, can you quickly tell me the answer? 200 divided by 150 is what? Is more than 1.5 or less than 1.5 divided by 150? It is 1.33. So the ratio goes down. So who had said decrease? Let me very quickly check. I think Savin? Yeah. Savin said it will go down. So the ratio goes down, right? So what have we learned from this? I did not expect, frankly speaking, to get a right answer, right? The objective of practice is that you should know the format of question, you should know the structure of question, right? If you see, we increase the numerator by 50,000, we increase the denominator by 50,000, ratio went down, right? Next time, if this question comes, you assume the numbers, make the ratios, right? Just like I assume 150 over 100, I made the ratio 1.5 ratio 1. Make adjustments, see for yourself, right? Now, the trick is that if this ratio had been less than 1, this ratio would have gone up. But then the other trick is that we have increased the numerator and denominator by 50,000. If we had reduced it, this ratio would have gone up. So there are it's just mathematics, right? So what is the takeaway in this questions? Do not use the common sense which comes to your mind. There is a trick. You assume the numbers, make the ratio, make the adjustment, find out for yourself. So we have nailed one exam questions, right? So this is how we train. We tell you that this is the structure of the examination question. This is the maximum level of difficulty. This is the minimum level of difficulty. This topic is likely tested. This topic is not likely tested, right? So that is the scope of our training. So this is the contact number of our program advisor, Amanda and Nehla. We will send you the PPT of this webinar along with the recording. And if you have any more questions, please do not please feel free to ask. We thank you, Rabi, for very valuable time and valuable session. If you have any last minute question, please go ahead. And otherwise, have very nice evening and hope to see you in the class.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Yasser.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Jeet. Thank you. Have a very good night. Have a very good night, everyone. Thank you, Savin. Thank you.